one big thing that stresses almost every one of us out. Your friends and family are constantly stressed up. Your loved ones are constantly stressed up. Your family, they're constantly in a stress. I'm talking about a heavily relatable stress factor that you want to help them, understand so they can deal with it, well, right? So, without further ado, right, I said, what is the most important, the most biggest stressor in your life right now? So please type it in the chat, right? Put what is stressing you out right now in the chat, right? Today, we're going to dive into three major factors that trigger money stress and, more importantly, how to overcome them, right? You might say, Helen, why is this topic important? Why does it matter? Money stress is one of the biggest contributors to anxiety, relationship conflicts, and even health problems. I take that again, right? I'll do that again and again and again, but I'm going to take it one more time. For those at the back that didn't hear me the first time, I said money stress is one of the biggest contributors to anxiety, relationship conflicts, and even health problem, right? So studies have shown that over 70% of people report financial stress regardless of, their income level, regardless of their class, regardless of your status in the society, right? Studies have shown this, right? Now, let me introduce you to that three factors, like I said, that trigger the stress factor out of you, right? Number one, your parents' relationship with money. Your environment is number two, and then lastly, your mindset, right? Now, guess what? Understanding, all of this, right? After the section, you're going to, put all the piece together and understand where your stress factor is coming from, right? Your understanding is going to bring out the hidden, money triggers in your life, examples of how these triggers impact both, male and female, right? And then we're going to give you practical solution for break free from financial stress. And at the end of the day, if we have time, we're going to take Q&A, right? We're going to have a poll section where you're going to, answer a couple of questions, and then we get it, get done for the whole day. So it's going to be quite interesting, trust me. Let's start with the first factor, right? How your parents' relationship with money shapes your financial habits, right? I know you probably be thinking, oh, Helen, why are you trying to take me, million miles down the lane of my childhood and all that? Now, guess what? Most people's stress factor started from when they were children, right? Now, the question is, what do you understand about money, right? Money is a means of exchange that allows people to buy goods and services, right? I say money is like a channel, right? Money is a channel, right, that flows, right? That's why it's called currency. So because money flows, right, the channel, the current, if there's a block in that channel, right, guess what? You're not going to have money. You're going to be stressed up. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be angry. You name all the other things that are associated, right, with lack of money, right? So number one here is your parents' relationship with money, right? So how your childhood shapes your financial habits. Whether we realize it or not, our earliest lessons about money comes from home, right? Our LS benefit or LS habit, the trait, the formation that you have, just like a child, they mirror their parents, right, in everything they do. So what were you seeing your parents do as a child? Right? This actually attributes towards your savings, your spendings, and debts, that you've accrued along the way, right? These are all behaviors that you picked up as a child, and now as an adult, you're still exhibiting those traits, right? So common inherited money beliefs could be money is scarce, or hold on to every penny, right? Because somewhere down the line, when you were young, your parents always have to tell you, oh, we cannot afford this. Guess what? Because, money is scarce. And then you're constantly hearing, oh, debt is just a way of life. That's why you're neck deep in debt. You don't know what to do. Some people, they hold you like a chokehold on debt. Like you feed, eat, sleep debt. You don't even know why the people do what they do. You just get in there because you've seen people do it over and over, and you just think it's a norm. Money is meant to be spent. That's another inherited money belief that we, inherited as children. Enjoy it while you can, right? So you get money, you spend it, it comes in, it goes out. This is what, we're used to. And then lastly, talking about money, this one is actually interesting. It's rude, right? They tell you, you know what? Don't talk about money here. Maybe because they don't have. Some people resent the fact that people are rich around them, they're mad, or they feel some kind of way. They're angry. They don't want to hear about it. They think it's rude and all that, right? Now, guess what? I tell you an example, right? As a female, right? There's a friend of mine growing up in a household where her dad controlled all financial decisions. This was back in Africa, right? Now, as an adult, she feels overwhelmed when making financial choices and avoids budgeting because while she was growing up, she never got in the money making decision. She never got, any contributions towards what should be done. She just gets a handout. She sees her mom get money from her dad to go, settle some, family bills, right? It's like, oh, darling, okay, so this is the budget for the month. Okay, here you go, and that's it, right? So that's why right now, as an adult, making money in America, she feels overwhelmed because she didn't see her mom do this, right? Now, as a male perspective, right? Most men, live, paycheck to paycheck, constantly saying money doesn't grow on tree. Why? Because they've seen their parents have to toil the soil, go, and do all kinds of things to bring in money. Now, as an adult, guess what? You get to struggle with a scarcity mindset and avoid, investing out of fear, right? You avoid any kind of investment because your parents never invested, right? So now tell you what, the major impact on your financial decisions is as a result of, majorly, I'll give you like three factors, right? One of them is fear of spending or investing due to childhood money struggle. Some people, when you find an opportunity for you to invest, take action, and go ahead and do something that will move the needle in your financial situation to another level, you get held back because nobody in your family lineage, none of your parents, none of your uncles, your aunties, nobody, as a matter of fact, went ahead and took the risk of investing, right? So that's why you fear spending money. You rather have your money sitting cooling off in the bank and letting the bank go ahead and investing the money on your behalf, coming to give you about 10% or less, which I call the fractional banking. And then they reinvest the rest and make all the money. And then guess what? You want to take a loan, they give you a loan, and you get paying interest on the money that you should have learned how to invest in the first place, right? So we can come back on that another time. Now, guess what? Fear of, overspending to compensate for childhood um lack. I take that back, right? It's more like you overspending, right? Because while you were growing up, you were so full of lack. Your family was lacking everything. If you watch people, right, you know what they lacked as children. Some people that lacked love, they always want to be in a relationship. They always want to hug. They're always emotional. So they are really, really sourcing for that emotion. Now, in the space of financial, most people that couldn't have, 3 square meal or great meals, when they see money, they want to buy the best food. They want to eat all the best things they never get to eat as children. Likewise, for those people that didn't have enough to wear, right? Maybe they have like one or two clothes they have to wash every time to wear their uniforms. They have only one. They have to wash that one and wear it for the whole week, right? Maybe they have a Sunday best and maybe another best, just Picture this. You see this happen every time. Now, once they get to adult age, guess what they're going to do? They always want to overspend to compensate for the lack of that particular, lifestyle as a child, right? Another one is difficulty discussing money in relationship due to past financial tensions in family. We see this a lot. The reason why most people, have issues in their marriages, in their relationships, is because maybe they had to face, an encounter, seeing their parents talk about money, fight over money. So now, as an adult, you don't want to go through that route. You're avoiding anything that has to trigger that childhood memory that you have, right? You just want to keep the peace. You don't want to talk about money. You don't want to talk about budgeting. You just want to do whatever it takes just to maintain the relationship. Now, guess what? The solution could be that you need to break the circle, right? Have you ever thought about breaking the circle? Guess what? You got to recognize that inherited money belief is something that you need to let go, right? It's not part of you. Ask yourself today, what are my core beliefs about money? And where did they come from, right? You want to begin journaling, about your past experiences with money and how they influence your decisions today. Now, guess what? You want to reframe your money mindset when it comes to dealing with how your parents related with money, how your family members dealt with money. Instead of having a money scarcity mindset, I want you to reframe your mind, right? And say, money is a tool that I can learn to manage and grow, right? Instead of having, oh, I'm bad with money, guess what? You are what you literally say, right? You are your predominant thoughts. It comes to manifestation. So you need to watch what you're saying, your money affirmations. What are you saying about yourself? And then you say, I'm learning how to manage money wisely. And then guess what? You want to take control through education. How many times have you picked up a book to read and study about the one thing that you hate the most, the one thing that gives you the most trauma? How many times have you decided, hey, because this thing gives me sleepless night, because my blood pressure gets, super high when I think about money. I get super stressed when I think about not having enough or not keeping enough aside or not making enough. What will happen if I don't have enough? Blah, blah, blah. All the thoughts, all the negative thoughts and the voices happening in your head. What I urge you to do today is go and take control of your life through education. It could be self-education. You want to read books like Psychology of Money. You want to read books like Rich Dad and Poor Dad. You want to attend financial literacy workshops and learn about budgeting, investing, and debt management skills. These are the things that I do for free for you. Now, guess what? These workshops are free. You could turn up, one of these moments, book a free consultation on different subject matter. It could be you want to handle debt management, you want to learn how to budget, you want to learn how to eliminate debt, you want to learn how to save for emergency, you want to watch what you're doing, right? Constantly watching what you're doing, and then maybe save a little for retirement, right? Most people don't love to talk about retirement, especially when you're in your early 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s. You're like, oh, Helen, don't worry. It's still a far way, a long way down the line, right? Now, guess what? You have to begin those money, action steps today, right? Practice intentional financial habits, right? What you want to do, you want to set a monthly budget and track spendings. Track your spendings. You want to have two types of accounts. You want to have a depository account where all your funds and all the monies that you get, if you get gifts, um, salary, 1099, what all kinds of payment go through that account. And then another account will be for your spending, where you're tracking your expenditures, right? You want to change things in the year 2025 and begin to watch how your life will change for the better, right? Now, automate savings and investments to break negative circles, right? I want you to start right now and tell yourself, because this is my weakness, what am I doing to change it? You now want to see, okay, this is the negative, now this is a positive. Every time I see a negative, I want to replace it with a positive, right? Now, guess what? That is going to change everything for you. So now the question that I want to ask you on this number one factor, which is how your parents' relationship with money affects you, that question I want to ask you right now is, what is one financial habit you think you inherited from your family? Is it good? Is it bad? I want to see those answers in the chat or some. Okay, I see a lot of people putting in there. Some people say they learned not to overspend. Some people say don't spend what you don't have. Some people say you have to work and earn. You need to work multiple jobs. God bless you. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Take your time, right, to answer all these questions yourself after this call, right? And then guess what? Now that we understand how childhood experiences shape our money habits, let's talk about another powerful factor, right? And that factor is our environments, right? Our environment, right? How your environment shapes your financial habits, right? We are the average of five people, right? Guess what? We spend the most time with. This was a speech by Jim Roy, right? He said, we are, who we spend the most time with. Who are the five people you're constantly listening to? Who are the people within your circle? What are their money habits? What do they say about money? Are they savers? Are they spenders? Are they quitters? Are they fearful? What are those things about them? The people around us, our friends, our family, our co-workers, our social media. What are you feeding your mind? What is your atmosphere around you like, right? Is your atmosphere warm? Is it hot? Now let's relate it to money. Guess what? Your atmosphere can heavily influence, right, our financial behavior. Stop playing. Honestly, I'm telling you right now, you need to stop playing games, right? Right? You need to watch your economic conditions, the cultural expectations, and social pressures. All of this also shapes how we manage money, right? I'll tell you a story about a friend, right? Her name is Jessica. Jessica frequently goes to luxury vacation and she feels pressure to keep up. Why? Who are those people within your circle that makes that pressure? They're pushing the pressure on you. You're always doing stuff because of peer pressure. Even through, traveling days and all that, she still has that struggle, right? You still see that even though she, is financially savvy, but the pressure to impress people and the pressure to overspend on trips and designer items to maintain an image that nobody cares about. I repeat, an image that nobody cares about, right? This is what the environment that you find yourself, would cause you to do, right? This is what the friends, the family, the coworker, even social media has a lot of pressure on people. This is fake lifestyle, right? This is not their real life, right? Most people do all kinds of things just to get the views and the likes and the follow worship, but you watch them and you think that's the real deal? Hell no, right? So I give you another example of one of my colleagues, right? Mr. Mike works in a high earning, tech job, makes decent amount of multiple six figure income, but his colleagues constantly, his other colleagues, guess what? This is a tongue twister for me, honestly, but guess what? Aside from the fact that I'm talking about you right now, you can feel the passion and the emotion in my voice to know that what I'm about to say is something that a lot of people go through every day. Your environment, right? His colleagues, my colleagues, right? They're constantly upgrading to the latest car and the gadget. They're changing their zip codes. They're flying, private. They're wearing designer outfits. They're doing all kinds of stuff just to fit in. And guess what? He decided to join them in that, race to impress. And he takes an unnecessary debt and feels the financial pressure, right? And guess what? Because the tech space is highly volatile. One day you have a job, the next day you don't have a job. You're constantly interviewing and trying to secure another job. You're all always trying to get something else. That's why people do multiple jobs. So if one closes, at least you still have two, and when the other ones are going down, you're interviewing for more, but you're forgetting that technology is fast, improving. You always have to upgrade your skill, your certification. You always have to be, up there to be able to stay on the job force, right? Now, the impact on social pressure on finances is alarming, right? Your lifestyle inflation, you're earning more, but guess what? You're also spending more to match peer pressure, right? You're keeping up appearances, feeling pressured to buy luxury items, take vacations, or upgrade your car, your house, do things that you could literally plan for. And all of these things you're investing your money in, guess what? They're not even assets, generating, investment. They're not income generating investment that could result into you having an asset. They're all, guess what, a liability just to fit in. Financial isolation, lacking financial role models or support system that promote smart money habits is a major problem. Who are the top 5 people within your circle? If you don't have the right people within your circle, that's a shame. I say, if you don't have the right people within your circle, that is that's a big shame. If your friends are not talking about how to grow money, how your money is supposed to go to work with you, how you are supposed to invest, they're not bringing investment opportunity to you. They're always talking about the latest car, the latest designer, the latest iPhone, the latest this, the latest that, and not giving you the latest technology that can bring in more income for you. They're not giving you, the scoop to, some form of innovative idea that could turn and spin your fortune around. Hey, they are not your friends, right? So now the solution that I would give to this kind of situation is that, guess what? You control your financial environment. Your financial environment is supposed to be a hot environment with people with like minds, not people that would give you that pressure to try to fit in, people that love you for who you are, people that are committed to your growth, people that genuinely love you and bring ideas your way. Guess what? You could be in an environment and everybody in there are dream killers, right? So guess what? You need the right people your way. So your number one act here, or your number one step you want to do, is define your financial goal. Ask yourself today, am I spending money on things that align with my long-term financial goal? Or basically set clear goals for saving, investing, and how you can reduce your debt as much as possible, because we live in America. But guess what? You don't own anything if you are living the way you're living, because you need to study the financial savvy people. They don't spend the way you spend. And even if they're spending money and you're trying to race against them, they at least have a 1099 income. They know how to minimize taxes and to take advantage of the tax code to mitigate any form of taxation, any form of, tax burdens on them. And guess what? Are you IRS friendly when it comes to tax saving strategies? That is why you need someone like me to help talk to you and help find solutions to your financial situation. Another thing I want you to do in the action step is create a spending plan. Budget based on your priorities, not on social pressure, right? Use the pay yourself first method. Save before you spend, right? It's easy to say, right? But guess what? As humans, you take baby steps and then you grow. What is that thing you need to cut off today from what you're doing? Now, another action step you want to do is surround yourself with financial responsible people. Financial responsible people, underline the word, engage with communities that promote financial wellness, right? For example, you want to come to financial literacy groups, investment clubs. Why is it that we don't have all of this? When you get invited to a financial literacy group, you shy away from it, but someone invites you to a party. Hey, you're the best person to even buy the outfit. You want to know, oh, where are we going? Where's the next event? You always eager to go to events that don't add value to you. You're going there to spend money, to show off, just to impress who don't even care about you after some few hours, right? You need to join clubs that can elevate you when it comes to your financial standpoint, right? And then follow financial experts like myself and my colleagues out there instead of influencers who promote excessive spendings, right? Now, the last action step I want to give you is set boundaries with social spending. Don't be caught up, right? You want to set boundaries with social spending. If your friends always suggest expensive outings, offer budget-friendly alternative, guess what? You're going to tell them, hey, we can have fun, but we don't have to spend all we can. Guess what? Right? You can have fun literally anywhere you are, right? Learn to say that's not in my budget right now. It's okay to say no. Don't be shy to say it's not in my budget. It doesn't mean you don't have money, but you choosing to set healthy boundary around your money, right? So now guess what? Have your social circle ever influenced your spending habits? And if they have, is it for the better or for the worse? Is it for better or for worse, right? So guess what? Let me see in the chat right now. I see a lot of people responding. I see the fire emojis. I love that. Keep it coming. Keep it going. Now, guess what? Why our environment plays a major role in our financial habits, the biggest factor in our financial success, right, is actually our mindset. So let's dive into that, right? Which is the last thing that I have to talk to us about today, right? Are we enjoying this so far, right? Give me a one in the chat. If you're feeling me right now, give me a one in the chat. Don't be stingy with, I see you. That's good. That's good. That's good. It keeps me going. It keeps me going. I love to see those fire emojis. Okay, I see some hearts out there. Yep, yep. Okay. Now, guess what? Number three factor is your mindset. How your mindset affects your financial success is really, really key, right? Money is more than a number. Money is more than the numbers. Money is more than the numbers. I cannot overemphasize this, right? It's about psychology and behavior. Limiting beliefs like I'm bad with money or I'll never be wealthy can lead to self-sabotage. What are you using to self-sabotage yourself right now? Right? A growth mindset allows you to take control, make informed decisions, and build wealth. Right? Examples of mindset barriers. Number one, Laura assumes she will always be in debt because she has student loans. She never negotiates her salary or explores better financial opportunities, right? She always feel, that, hey, whatever the case may be, right? I will always negotiate my salary. I always, that self-limiting belief is a major, major, major issue when it comes to wealth creation and about your money, right? Another friend of mine, David, right? Guess what? Believes wealth is only for the lucky or highly educated. And but if that is even true, let's just say if that is true, what is stopping you from being the lucky one? What is stopping you from getting that higher education, right? Tell you what he does. He allows investing and, he just likes to, allow every investing ideas that you throw at him to go down the drain because guess what? He avoids it, right? And doesn't take financial risks. You are scared because you feel, oh, this is not for me. Have you ever come across people that will say, oh, Helen, I just feel that if everybody's doing something and they're successful, if I do it, it's not going to work out for me. Have you heard those kind of sayings before? These are limiting belief. What are those myths that you put your mind on? What are those things, those patterns that make you to defeat, purpose of God upon your life, to limit yourself to such saying, right? Now, guess what? I want you to break free from a scarcity mindset. Scarcity versus abundance thinking, right? A scarcity mindset will always say there's never enough money, right? This will naturally lead to fear based on the decisions that you make because you have told yourself that there's never enough money at what I'm doing. There's never enough money. There's never enough money. There's never enough. You keep saying it in many ways, in many forms, in many shapes. And the worst thing you can do, if you're listening to me right now, right, on YouTube, if you're watching the playback, on Instagram, if you're watching the playback on TikTok, wherever, Facebook, you're listening on, you don't want to transfer that kind of mindset to your children, please. You want to break that scarcity mindset, and it ends with you, and you're going to make a change. An abundant mindset will say, I can create wealth by making smart choices, right? And this leads to confidence and actions steps that will take you from where you are to the next level. It all begins in the mind. We fight battles daily in the mind. What are you constantly saying in your mind? What are those what are those negative thoughts? What are those bad and scary thoughts that you have? You need to begin to say your I am. You need to affirm the right things, positive thinking, positive affirmations. Those are the things that is going to get you to live, right? The Bible says renewal of the mind. If your mind is renewed, you can achieve everything. The word of God says, right, that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. He doesn't say, oh, I can do all things, or he doesn't say I can do some things. That's Philippians 4:13. He says, I can do all things. I believe that you can do all things if you set out your heart to do all things. What is your all things today that you're limiting yourself from going ahead to get started? Right? The power of financial literacy. Learning about money gives you control instead of fear. What is stopping you from attending workshops? Why is it that when you see someone like me that is a financial educator, we're crusaders, we're teaching, we're passionate, we're pouring our hearts into this thing, and you are blinded or you're covering your ears because you despise money? What is that pain point? What is that depth that makes you shy away from money talk? Learn about money should give you control, not fear, right? Small financial wins like savings, budgeting, investing, it helps you build confidence, right? So I challenge you today, right? Have a reward and punishment system for yourself, right? You tell yourself, I set myself this goal. If I do this and financially, I'm going to reward myself with X and X, X, Y, and whatever the case may be. But if I don't attain this goal, I'm going to avoid this as a punishment for not attaining that goal. Trust me, you're going to win every time. For every time you win, you save 1,000, emergency fund, you reward yourself. Hey, it starts small. Before you know, habits are formed. Nobody was born with habits. We form habits along the way. Because you got to this point by forming habits, you can unlearn what you already know by replacing those habits with the right habits, right? So the solutions that I'm going to give on here is simply reframe your mind, when it comes to money, right? Now, instead of I will never be rich, I want you constantly say, I can learn how to build wealth, right? You want to watch movies, you want to be devoted in learning, you want to attend seminars, you want to click the link in the bio right now and book a consultation with me ASAP. Say, Helen, I want to learn about how to build wealth. That's all you got to say to me, and I will take the initiative to show you in 7 steps on what to do, right? You want to say replace self-doubt. Every time you're doubting, replace it with actions like reading, learning, and taking small financial steps, right? Another action step I want to give you today is take small financial actions. Start investing small amounts. Negotiate raises at your job. Seek financial growth opportunities, right? Guess what? Investing just as little as $50 a month can grow into thousands over time. You can literally start with little. You put $50 aside, you put $100 aside. Over time, your money is going to double, right? And then seek mentorship and financial education. That's why we're here. We're licensed to do what we do. I am a licensed financial professional. I can do this in all 50 states in America, Puerto Rico, Canada. And then guess what? We're going to 33 countries, right? Guess what? You want to learn as fast as you can. Surround yourself with people who have a positive money mindset. Follow financial experts, attend workshops, and then guess what? Join communities that support financial growth. And then interact questions around all that you do. You want to ask questions. Always be asking, where is my money going? How can I build my money? How can I get my money game up? How can I defeat this mindset? Always be asking questions. What's one financial belief you grew up with that you've never had to unlearn today? Let me see in the chat one thing that you grew up listening to. It could be from home, it could be from school, from your family. Yes, 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 yes. Let me see the chats. Let me see you hit the chat. Financial mindset about money. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, somebody told you will never make it. Now, what you're going to say, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. That is your word. That is your portion, your Bible verse. It says, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things. You got to defeat it with positive affirmations, right? Amazing. Now that we've explored mindsets, right? Let's bring everything together, right? Let's ask the questions, right? Now, guess what? I want to leave you with this thought process, right? As I'm stepping out right now, I want you to understand, right, that factually, guess what? Money is one of the biggest source of stress in people's lives. According to American Psychological Association, right, 72% of Americans feel stress. 72%. That is an alarming rate, right? They feel stressed about money, whether it's paying bills, managing debt, or saving for the future. Many individuals and families live paycheck to paycheck, constantly worrying about how to ends meet. They're constantly worrying, oh, how am I going to meet this ends meet? How am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to foot this bill? Oh my God, if that's how your life is, you need to book a consultation ASAP. That's so much. And guess what? 72% of Americans feel this every day. This financial instability creates anxiety, negative impacts, mental health, and can lead to poor financial decisions, right? So, what is money trauma? Money trauma to me is the deep emotional and psychological stress caused by financial struggles, right? It stems from growing up in a financially unstable household. This is a summary, right? Expressing job loss or financial hardship, living in constant debt, and no clear cut way out for you. Feeling shame or fear around money conversation. Some people avoid it as a plague. You can't even discuss about money in any household. In a particular family, there's no way you talk about money because, hey, money is a taboo in some homes. Some people religiously believe that rich people will go to hell. But hey, even on earth, you are living a hellish life. If you don't have money, you're sad, you're angry. What does the Bible say about that? You hardly make heaven, call it what it is, right? So now, guess what? When people express money trauma, they often avoid dealing with their finances. They tend to overspend as a coping mechanism or feel hopeless about ever achieving financial security, right? So I urge you today, take a bold step towards your financial outlook. Book a consultation with me today, right? Let's sit down together and look on how best we can, help you alleviate your financial burden as much as possible, right? Let's help you get this done. And guess what? The Almighty God will bless you. He will keep you in abundance as it were to be, right? So I wish you well. Let's sit down with you. Let's look through your options. Let's help you achieve that financial goal that you always wanted to have. Let's help you, attain that goal that you always wanted to have. Let's help you reach the heights that you always wanted for yourself. Let's help you reach the height. Let's help you today. You want to scan the QR code that you see on here, right? Scan the QR code that you see on here for instant approval, right? You want to scan that QR code, healing money traumas. Today, set the pace for your family. Book a consultation with me, and let's get you set up on the right path. I wish you all the best, the best, the best. See you at the top. Remember, God bless you. Bye bye for now.